There are only 3 guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and me binging on KitKats when everyone else is asleep. I can't help it. They're just so addictive. And as it turns out, this is not by accident. The creators designed it like this deliberately, using a secret tactic they knew would hook people. But more on that later. For now, let's check out the full step-by-step process of exactly how KitKats are made. For context, KitKats are a globally popular chocolate-covered wafer bar, originally created by a company called Rowntree's, based out of York, England in 1935. Initially called Rowntree's Chocolate Crisp. The name changed to KitKat in 1937. Known for their iconic "Have a break, have a KitKat" slogan, these treats gained fame for their crisp layers of wafer encased in smooth chocolate. But who owns the brand today? Flavor and crunch. Cocoa provides the deep, rich taste, sugar balances the bitterness and adds sweetness, and milk gives the chocolate a creamy, smooth texture. Together, they create the ultimate combination that makes KitKat so enjoyable. The cocoa used in KitKats comes from well-known cocoa growing regions, mainly in West Africa, including countries like Ivory Coast and Ghana. These specific areas have ideal conditions for growing high-quality cocoa beans thanks to their rich soil and good climate. Nestle, the Swiss food and beverage company that owns the KitKat brand, works closely with local farmers through its cocoa plan. This program supports sustainable farming and helps improve yields as well as community well-being. For instance, the cocoa plan equips farmers with training on advanced farming techniques like composting and pest management, while providing essential tools such as pruning equipment and fertilizer sprays. This boosts productivity and enhances the livelihood of farmers and their families of the product. During roasting, chemical reactions known as Maillard reactions occur, which are critical for developing the complex flavor of the cocoa. Sugar is another key ingredient that balances the natural bitterness of the cocoa, adds sweetness, and contributes to the sweet, uniform texture of the final product. The quality of the sugar and its fine blending operation are some of the main reasons that the texture remains consistent throughout, avoiding any grittiness in the chocolate. The sugar is finely ground in milling machines to blend well with the cocoa and milk, resulting in a uniform texture. Fresh milk, sourced from local dairy farms, provides creaminess and enhances the overall flavor of the chocolate. The combination of milk and cocoa creates the iconic creamy taste that pairs perfectly with the crispy wafer layers. Sourcing milk locally supports regional dairy farmers while simultaneously guaranteeing that Nestle can consistently source the freshest ingredients for their KitKats, cat flavors to match local tastes. For instance, Japan has a wide variety of flavors, such as matcha green tea and strawberry. Despite these local variations, the main ingredients and process always remain the same. Needless to say, quality control is important at every stage of production. Each batch of cocoa, sugar, and milk is inspected to ensure it meets Nestle's strict standards, including checks for purity, moisture content, and overall quality. This dedication to quality is the reason why every KitKat bar has the same great taste, no matter where it's made. Crafting the KitKat chocolate begins with roasting. Roasting brings out the complex flavors in the beans, which are essential for the decadent taste and aroma of the final product. After roasting, the beans are cracked using a winnowing machine to remove the shells, leaving the cocoa nibs. These nibs are then ground into cocoa mass, a thick paste that releases cocoa butter, which gives even consistency. After this, the chocolate is put through a process called conching. During conching, the chocolate is stirred in large conch machines at high temperatures, usually between 50 and 80 degrees Celsius, or 127 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit for several hours. This further refines the texture and enhances the flavor by evening out any coarse bits and letting volatile acids escape, which helps to reduce bitterness. Conching helps each product achieve that luxurious mouthfeel that KitKat chocolate is known for. After conching, the chocolate is ready to be molded into bars. Specialized molds made of polycarbonate are used to create KitKat's unique shape. The molding begins with depositing a layer of chocolate that forms the base. The crisp wafer is then placed on top, The wafer is made from wheat flour, sugar, and a leavening agent, such as sodium bicarbonate, and it is baked to a light, airy texture using tunnel ovens, which give KitKat its signature crunch. The molds used for KitKats are specially crafted with grooves that create distinct breakable segments, a feature intentionally designed by the original creators. Because of these grooves, each piece of the KitKat can snap apart cleanly, making the chocolate easy to share or enjoy piece by piece. This design was a deliberate choice by the founders to enhance the experience, turning what could have been a simple chocolate bar into an addictive ritual that adds to the product's appeal. Now, let's take a closer look at the KitKat wafers themselves. Turning the basic ingredients of a KitKat wafer into the well-loved KitKat bar requires advanced equipment, refined methods, and dedicated craftsmanship, each contributing to the overall quality of the product. The KitKat wafer begins with blending flour and water into a smooth, pliable dough. This dough needs to be thin enough to create a crispy texture, yet strong enough to hold up during layering with chocolate. These thin sheets are fragile and must be handled delicately to maintain their structure as they move to the next step. They pass through a rotary molder that evens them all out. After molding, the dough sheets are cut into consistent rectangular shapes using guillotine cutters. The accuracy here is essential since each wafer needs to fit perfectly with others in the bar. After cutting, the wafers are baked in large convection ovens. These ovens circulate hot air, baking each wafer well. Baking times must be exact. Underbaking results in a chewy wafer, while overbaking can cause them to crumble. The wafers are baked until they reach a golden brown color, signaling that they are ready for the next step. Cooling is then done gradually to maintain the crispy texture using cooling tunnels with conveyor systems. If cooled too quickly, the wafers may become brittle, and if cooled too slowly, they could lose their crunchiness. Once cooled, the wafer layers are stacked, forming a solid core. The bars their smooth coating and the temperature is carefully managed. Once coated, the bars pass through a cooling tunnel that helps the chocolate set evenly, resulting in an attractive, defect-free product. After the chocolate is set, the packaging process begins. Each KitKat is wrapped in its signature foil and then encased in a recognizable red and white sleeve. This is done using high-speed flow wrapping machines, which wrap thousands of bars per hour to maintain efficiency. The foil wrapping serves multiple purposes. It not only represents the branding, but also helps preserve the wafer's crispness and the creamy texture of the chocolate by keeping moisture and air out. After wrapping, the bars undergo quality checks using high-resolution cameras and sensors to see which ones fit Nestle's standard for appearance and weight. Bars that do not meet these standards are removed from the production line. Visual inspections also work alongside to verify quality, as each KitKat must be ready for distribution in perfect and responsible, which is important to consumers who care about sustainability. Finally, after all the steps, mixing, baking, coating, and wrapping, KitKat bars are ready to be shipped. Whether you have it as a snack, share it with friends, or treat yourself, KitKat continues to bring joy to millions, one snap at a time. KitKat has a knack for keeping things exciting with its wild flavor experiments and global twists. Over the years, it's become a canvas for flavors you never thought would exist, and some you probably still can't believe do. Here's a breakdown of how KitKat has evolved into one of the most versatile treats around. Let's start with Japan, the undisputed champion of KitKat innovation. Since 2000, they've released over 300 different flavors, ranging from crowd pleasers like matcha or green tea and sakura or cherry blossom to truly unexpected options like flavored butter. KitKat has also reimagined its shape and format. The chunky version, introduced to the UK in 1998, offers a bigger, bolder take on the classic bar, with flavors like peanut butter and caramel. And let's not forget the seasonal releases, like the KitKat Santas launched in 2024, because apparently even Santa gets a KitKat break. It's a candy bar that knows no limits, and that's exactly why it stayed a favorite for nearly a century. Now, starting at number 5 and counting down to number 1, here are the top 5 most interesting and lesser-known fun facts about KitKats. Are you ready? In 2012, KitKat pulled off a fun marketing stunt by sending one of its chocolate bars to the edge of space. They called it #BreakFromGravity. A KitKat was strapped to a weather balloon with a GoPro camera and sent up about 35,000 meters, or 114. And this wasn't even KitKat's first space adventure. Back in 1995, a UK KitKat bar went into space on a rocket as part of a science experiment. Ever wondered what makes the filling between KitKat's crispy wafers so delicious? When a KitKat bar doesn't meet the quality standards, perhaps it's broken or misshapen, it doesn't go to waste. Instead, these imperfect bars are crushed and blended with cocoa and sugar to create the creamy filling nestled between the wafers. This ingenious method not only enhances the flavor, but also reduces food waste. It's like a KitKat within a KitKat. This KitKat life hack was even highlighted in a BBC Two documentary. During World War II, KitKat had to make some big changes because of resource shortages. They switched from milk chocolate to dark chocolate since milk was hard to come by, and they changed the wrapper color from red to blue. The fun coincidence. KitKat sounds like the Japanese phrase "kiddo katsu," which means you will surely win. Because of this, KitKats are often given as good luck gifts during exam season. Nestle Japan even makes special packages with messages like "Believe in yourself" to support this tradition. Nestle has also made limited edition KitKat flavors inspired by local tastes, and they're often bought as souvenirs. This has made KitKat even more popular as a good luck charm in Japan. Sometimes a KitKat bar ends up without any wafers inside, making it a solid chocolate bar. Nestle says that even with quality control, these rare waferless KitKats can still happen. These unique bars have caught people's attention and some even see them as collectibles. People have tried to sell them online for high prices, even though they're just production errors and not special editions. For example, in 2016, a British law student bought a multi-pack of KitKats and none of them had wafers. She even demanded a lifetime supply of KitKats as compensation,